Hello, this is John from MyBurningGames.com, and I'm here today to play Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance for the PlayStation 2. And specifically, I'm here to play the VR missions and kind of the side stuff in Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. I'm playing on the PS2. This game was released. I'm playing on the PS3, but it is a PS2 version. It was also released on the Xbox and the PC, but I chose to play this version. This version right here. A little bit of glare. Reflection from the TV screen. I chose to play this version because over the Xbox or the PC version, because A, I'm not that big of a PC gamer, so that kind of cuts that one out. And I chose this one over the Xbox version because this one has the additional inclusion of the skateboarding missions, or a skateboarding mission from Evolution Skateboarding. Skateboarding kind of Tony Hawk clone that Konami released in the early 2000s at the height of that genre. And the reason they did that is because there's actually a cameo by Solid Snake. But my friend and I, Tridrachius, also known as Jeff, his given name, if you will, we've been playing through the Metal Gear Solid series. We're only on 2, Sons of Liberty, so far. We played through all of Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PlayStation, really dug it, enjoyed it. And we're on to 2 right now. We're just about done with Sons of Liberty. We're not enjoying it as much, but I'm still holding out hope. But man, that game's a big downer compared to the first one. Looks great though, still. Really good looking game. In the spare time, I went and took a diversion. I played Metal Gear Solid VR missions on the PlayStation, played through that in its entirety. Maybe not worth spending that much time with it, but I did eke some enjoyment out of it. I wrote about it on my site, mybrandgames.com. You can go check that out. And so, naturally for me, the evolution would be to play the VR missions in Metal Gear Solid 2, kind of check those out. And that's what I'm going to try and do. Hopefully, I will enjoy it. I guess we can finish watching this cinematic. Maybe we don't have to. I don't know. I'm capturing from the PS3, and it's kind of... I have issues with it. I don't know if it's just capturing from the PlayStation 3 or if it's capturing specifically with the Roxio Game Capture HD Pro. There's something that causes an issue, and it's whenever you're emulating older games, I think maybe whenever you're playing in PlayStation 1 games or PlayStation 2 games. I'm not exactly sure on the technical terms on how that works, but I'm pretty sure it's just emulating a PS2. And when it does that, the screen flashes, it goes to a different mode or whatnot. And so I think it's basically shutting off one part of the system and turning on another part, and the capture device recognizes that and saying, okay, well, you're done then. You stopped, you turned it off. It doesn't recognize that second device came on, so I don't know if that's the issue with the system or the issue with the capture device. I do know I have some other issues with this capture device. I just started using OBS, the Open Broadcaster software, and kind of just getting used to that. It has some funny quirks whenever you use the Roxio Game Capture HD Pro, which I'm not too pleased about, but I got to deal with. I don't have any other solid caption device. I do have another one, but it's just AV, and I'm not going to do that. At least with this, I can capture HDMI component. Looks like we're just about done with this attract screen, this intro cutscene. I don't know, part of the reason we're having a not so enjoyable time with MGS2, I think, is just, you could just blame it all on Raiden, that character, but a lot of it's just the downtime. There's so much downtime in between the action, the cinematics, all the stuff that happens that, A, there's so much downtime, and B, in the downtime, you're just constantly getting caught. Oh my gosh. Maybe we just suck at it. That's why we were talking last night, and I think I'm going to try, probably once we're done with it, try and just go through and see if I can maybe get an unseen playthrough, just try and not get caught, see how feasible that is, or how much of my hair I want to pull out trying to do that. Let's see, I don't actually think I need to load this, because this is just going to load us straight into the game, I bet. Let's not load that. Let's just go, let's see, we want to do special missions, Snaketail, skateboarding. Let's see, your VR missions under special. No, basic action, previous story, photo album, dog tag viewer. We do have one dog tag so far. Missions, this might be what we're after. Okay, let's just go ahead and put, wonder if we can fit enough here to put Raiden. We'll just go ahead and put Raiden. Sex male. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know his actual birthday, so that kind of sucks. Well, yeah, I mean, that kind of sucks. Oh, man. A blood type, yep. And we'll say that's good. Okay, yeah, so this is basically the VR missions, I believe. We can play as Raiden, we can play as Snake. Go ahead and start as Raiden. Okay, yeah. VR missions or alternate missions. What are the alternate missions? Bomb disposal mode. Elimination mode. Hold up mode. Looks like there's one other as well. Okay, but we're just going to go straight to the VR missions. We got sneaking mode, weapon mode, first person view mode. Let's check out a little bit of sneaking mode. Oh, then we got sneaking and eliminate all. And then we got many levels in these. So I think, let me just double check. This game touts, I think, 350 plus VR missions, 150 alternate missions, Substance exclusive. Play through 5 new Snake Tales involving Solid Snake. Again, another Substance exclusive. Unlock new playable characters and game modes. Again, Substance exclusive. Contains the entire Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty game, plus the debut of the Casting Theater and Boss Survival mode. Substance exclusive. New skateboarding mode lets you explore the Big Shell as Raiden or Snake. Substance exclusive. And that one specifically PS2 exclusive. Maybe on PC, not quite sure. Utilize stealth and infiltration methods such as diving, somersaults, hanging from ledges, and using disguises. Fully interactive environment where bullets pierce steam pipes, smoke reveals laser beam, and wet shoes leave footprints. Powerful musical score composed by Harry Gregson Williams, aka Armageddon the Rock. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? VR missions. Sneaking level 1. Get to the goal without being discovered. Flattening yourself against the wall will help. 2 minutes. Okay, so I'm probably gonna suck it up here, but see, like I said, I played through all of VR missions on the PlayStation, have not played any of the Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance VR missions. Okay. And so this is like the exact same concept and everything, just different presentation, and of course, different. Well, not necessarily different graphical style. It's still kind of going for the same sort of virtual reality look. Just looks different with the enhanced processing power of the PlayStation 2. Get to the goal without being discovered. The enemy patrol route is fixed. Oh. Okay, well, the enemy patrol route is fixed, so we know not to go right there next time. I was just going to try and book it then. And so, see, I think it took me about a dozen hours to beat Metal Gear Solid VR missions, and it was basically 12 hours of doing this. And of course, there were some missions that taught you everything you needed to know about each individual weapon. There were some fun missions in there too, but it was just really repetitive, especially for like 12 hours. There were some tough missions, and there were a lot of them weren't that challenging. Like this one doesn't seem like it'll be that challenging, as long as you figure out the critical path. Okay. Get to the goal without being discovered. Predicting enemy behavior and making use of intrusion is key to completion. I'm guessing intrusion is going to be getting into those crevices down here. Basically kind of into the air ducts. Simulated air ducts. Bad thing about being down in here is you don't have the radar. Don't really need to. I could crawl in there, but hey, I could just run out too. And yeah, just like in the first VR missions game, I'm not necessarily going for a high score or anything. I know in the original one, if you went for, I think if you got like the top score on every one of them, or every one of them of a subset of missions, there's a photographing mode, and you unlocked mailing to photograph, which is kind of weird, but not necessarily my cup of tea, so I didn't bother going through to do that. I don't know how much time that would take to try and get 100%. I got 100%, but get 100% with the top score on everything might be pretty challenging. Actually, I know it would be pretty challenging.
Is there somebody there? Is there somebody there?
That's one thing that gave my friend and I, some issues last night when we were playing. You know, with this game, its predecessor, you know, you're kind of led to believe, okay, if I just stay out of the enemy's cone of vision, I'm good. This one's kind of changed to that, where, let's see, get to the goal without being discovered, use hanging, and get through the enemy line. This one seems to kind of have changed that, kind of flipped that, and just saying if, like right there, you can, they can see you, even if you are not in their cone of vision. Which, I mean, totally makes sense to me, but at the same time, oops. I tend to do that a lot. I tend to press the wrong button. You know, if you're not in their line of sight, you've taught us to do this whole time, and it makes sense that, you know, hey, I am a tall object. It's kind of ludicrous that they wouldn't be able to see me, but at the same time, why even have that cone of vision then? Extend the cone. Yeah, I knew that wasn't going to work, but I still tried it. What am I doing? Take him out. This probably won't end well. I'll probably just have to fall. Or maybe just take him out. I'm not going to get that no-kill bonus, though. Oh, these make noise. Got it. Oh, well, I guess I still didn't kill them. Or is it saying over to the side, no-kill bonus equals 0? Maybe that's what it is. Let's see, get to the goal, beware of the noise-making floor and wet floor that makes you leave footprints. The mission will be terminated if you are discovered or fall into a hole. Oh, I don't want to be up there. Oh man, just about had some issues with him. Well, I'm digging it so far. One thing that, you know, MGS2 has over its predecessor is the speed and responsiveness. The characters are really responsive to the controls. Use the lockers wisely and get to the goal. The mission will be terminated if you are discovered. Security will tighten if the enemy wakes up. It's real fast. Oh. Don't want to wake him up. Ah. Did not realize he was coming. Okay, so it looks like we maybe need to wait and see how that guy is going to tread in here. So let's go ahead and get in here course, whenever we're in here, we don't have the radars. Not super helpful. Okay. We can do this. I don't have any weapons, but I do have this AP sensor. Sensor detecting life forms vibrates on enemy approach. All other vibrations will be off when sensor is activated. Okay, so maybe it's not necessary to have that radar. If I have this AP sensor, I can still feel them coming. Yeah, so right now my control is really starting to vibrate. Really starting to vibrate.
It's him. Everyone, stay on guard.
Okay, it's starting to dissipate a little. I'm gonna risk it. Wow. Oh. Well, honestly, I should have been caught by that first guy, but hey. Okay, let's exit that. That's sneaking. Looks like there's 10 sneaking, so we got 7 of them done. What's the eliminate all? It's just gonna be as it says, eliminate all enemies. Take out the enemy and get to the goal. Knocking him unconscious or tranquilizing him in addition to killing him won't count. We got 1 enemy. What do we have to do? What do we have to do it with? We got a So Calm, lethal, and we've got an M9, a trank. Let's go ahead and use a trank. Oh man. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's auto aim, or maybe auto aim to the same extent as there was in Metal Gear Solid VR missions. There, you could just hold square to get your weapon up, and the character would naturally lock onto the enemy whenever he was in range. This game introduced the first-person mode where you could look down the sights of your gun and kind of aim a little more accurately. It looks like because of that. No, see, there's still a lock on. Wonder why it didn't lock on that first time. Okay, well, third time's the charm, right? See there, it's not doing it. Okay. What did I say? Fourth time's a charm? Fourth time's a charm. Anyways, this is really more for me just testing all this stuff out, making sure I get it all right. Okay, so I think I'm kind of starting to understand it now. In the first one, in VR missions, you could have your weapon pulled out and he would automatically just, whenever the enemy was in range, automatically lock onto him. Here, he only automatically locks onto him if they're already in sight and in range. If they come into your range from being out of range or out of sight, he does not automatically target him. He just stays pointing forward. Alright, starting to understand it. Starting to get it. Kind of a subtle difference between the first game and the second game. Another subtle difference, the tranquilizers. In VR missions in the first game, they were pretty much instantaneous. Here it looks like they may not be. So right now I'm gonna try and hit him with this trank and see how long it takes for it to kick in. Okay. It's gonna say maybe it's not gonna kick in. Okay, that no-kill bonus definitely helped, but still not first. I haven't got a first place finish yet. Take out the enemies and get to the goal. If you want to shoot accurately, switch to the first-person view camera and aim well. Okay, still takes 3 shots with the SOCOM to take an enemy out, though. So that has not changed. And it looks like, sort of like how VR missions are structured, basically, these are the same missions just with a weapon now. So I don't know that I'll do too many more. Oh. Okay. Well, like I said, I'm not going to do too many more. I think we'll cut it off there. Let's try something else to get kind of a little bit of everything here. So that was sneaking, that was eliminate all. Weapon mode, this is just going to be, again, same thing as in. Hey, a blade, cool. This is just going to be the same thing as in VR missions. It'll hone in on a specific weapon, and if it's anything like VR missions on the PlayStation, there'll be this weapon mode, then there'll also be an advanced mode for every one of them. Not sure. So you destroy all targets and head to the goal. The center of the targets gives you more points. Use the lock-on wisely. Now this is going to be a little different, it looks like. Okay, yeah, this is really there to kind of focus in on the first-person shooting. Which, you know, it's pretty cool. These missions can be monotonous, especially because a lot of the times you're just repeating stuff or just slowly learning stuff. Whenever I wrote about the first game, I really had to compare it to what it actually was portraying itself to be in the fiction. I mean, it is a training tool. So it's not necessarily always fun, but you're learning stuff. Like, I felt like after playing VR missions, I could go back into the original game and have a much better grasp of the concepts or everything. Just have a much better time maybe not. Yeah, I guess I would perform better. I would perform better having played VR missions. And it looks like I'll probably do the same thing with this. I probably perform better in 2 after playing all these VR missions. So maybe I'll replay the second game after my friend and I beat it and use what I learned in VR missions and see if I could do that unseen playthrough. See if I have a more fun time with it. Because the thing that's been bringing us down is just getting caught so much. Getting caught and then having to deal with it. Okay, let's see. Control. Well, okay, who cares? Let's just jump into it. We'll learn the controls. So this is something completely new. First person view. Destroy all targets and head to the goal. Use different weapons accordingly. Okay. Okay, so this is a weird setup because the buttons are still the normal MGS2 buttons. So R2 to select your weapon, or no. Let's get them out. Okay, yeah, so R2 to bring up your, basically, weapons menu selection. L2 to bring up your items weapon selection. And, of course, just tapping it to select it or not. And so normally you just press square to attack, whether it's a weapon or a fist. I think fist may be circle. Anyways, whenever you press square, you lightly push it or just tap it, you're going to bring your weapon up, and then if you push harder and release, you're going to fire it. So that holds true here in first-person view. Normally with first-person view, right trigger is your shooter, or not right trigger, R1 or R2 on the PlayStation 2 controller. Since you're moving around with the left analog stick, looking around with the right analog stick, that maintains the same here. But then you use square to shoot. And using square to shoot means it makes it really hard to look around, because then you're doing this, you're pushing square to bring up your weapon, and then you're kind of aiming yourself by taking your whole left hand off the left side of the controller so you can move the right analog stick. Really, really weird. Can I just be like right up on these things? Looks like I can. Maybe if I look at controls, there's a better alternative for aiming. Maybe if I hold like L, that makes the... No. 15 to 25. I still have some left. Let's see. We got the M4. Let's give that a shot, I guess. Okay, okay. Oh man, time's running out. They're not coming. Are they just in here? Do I just need to shoot them? I just need to just shoot them. So we'll do this again. I can do much better this time. Now that I'm done explaining this all. Okay, don't get too close. I mean, you can get right up on it, but don't get much closer than that. I don't know. Seems like I'm pretty close to it anyways, but whatever. There's no strafe as far as I can tell. Strafe. Oh, nope, there's strafe is the D-pad. So that'll become in handy whenever I'm trying to aim at some targets like those. Okay. I didn't want to do the next stage. I wanted to check out something else. Get to the goal alive. Use the items wisely. 4.5 minutes. So that's a lengthy one. Let's go ahead and exit out of here. And it looks like there's still one more mode to be unlocked down at the bottom, but looks like that's pretty much it for the VR mission. Okay, then just alternate missions. So that's it for the VR missions. Kind of a little brief sampling of all of that for Raiden. And then Snake's got his own. So we're 9% complete with Raiden at this stage. Go ahead and save. So it looks like it just does run off a separate save. .9% complete overall. So I'm 9% complete with Raiden, but just about 2% complete with the VR missions in total. The VR missions and alternate missions, I guess. The missions menu item. So anyways, I'm going to call it quits there. I just wanted to check that out, and I think I will play through all of them. So, I'm going to have fun with that. I'll probably hate myself during some portions of it, but the first little bit I played was pretty fun. Again, very similar to the original VR missions on PlayStation, so not much has changed outside of just appearing on a new system and a new character, maybe some new weapons, stuff like that. Anyways, that makes this episode 1 of a continuing Let's Play. Continuing long-form Let's Play, long play, I don't know, whatever you call them on the internet. This was John from mybrainongames.com. You can check me out there. You can also check me out on YouTube and Twitter as John Engelman, JohnEngelman. Anyways, thanks for watching this first episode, and please come back. Thank you. Bye-bye.